excuse the technical difficulties, but we're going to pick up right where we left off. I keep running into the same problem no matter what device I use. Files crash, the screen recorder crashes, whatever the case may be. I'm sure none of this is coincidental, but I'm going to press through to get this message out to those who need it. I just got out of YouTube jail recently as well. So, there is a war against truth going on, but the truth never dies. So let's keep it going. As I was saying, this young man was offering his testimony, and I believe that he really spoke out on a lot of the things that we've discussed, previously in that last article. He really he's a firsthand example of being beaten down in this world, hearing all those lies and believing those lies about yourself. So I'm gonna let him speak, and we'll pick up from there. Go ahead. I'm talking like
yes.
He's sitting here with me.
As I said, from a very young age, I struggled. From at the age of 5, the enemy, and I know it's the enemy. I didn't know that then. Yes, but he would have tormented my mind day and night. At the age of 5, I felt tormented.
Now I'm just highlighting because like I've been saying, this is all about starting at childhood. This is about, infiltrating the minds, rewiring things, getting everything twisted all around, as you are a child. So I can concur with what he's saying. As young as the age of 5, maybe even earlier, is when I first started to have these thoughts and these feelings creep around. But continue.
The only time I'd really get rest in my mind is when I was asleep. But the moment my eyes or my mind was awake, I would constantly hear the enemy telling me, you were born this way. This is who you are. You're born this way, constantly. And as time goes by, the more you repeat something, you start to believe it.
Now, earlier you heard him say that he didn't know what it was at the time. That goes back to what the lady was saying in that article, that these lies are easy to be believed because you don't know their lies. He did not know he was under attack from the enemy. He did not know that. So all of these things that he heard, these thoughts that he was tormented with day in and day out, he did not know that they were lies at the time. And like he just said, you hear them so much, you start to believe they're true. Your body will follow your mind. If your body is speaking, it's because your mind told it to speak. If your body is walking, it's because your body told it to walk. So if your mind is thinking that have these natural urges, natural tendencies, then your body's going to follow. So that's really why this is the war of the mind, renewing your mind, because once your mind is renewed, everything else will follow.
And growing up, I didn't know what it was. And then someone close to me said that you are a little faggot. And when they said that to me, and when they said that to me, what I was already going through and what they said fit perfectly together like a puzzle piece.
You hear how he's describing this. These thoughts were already he was already dealing with this, and then someone from the outside come and tells him, well, you're a little faggot. Now, I had people, talk about me when I was that age. So I understand exactly where it's coming from. When you hear that and you're already battling something internally, it's like that explains it. It wasn't necessarily from a third party. I mean, it was always kind of nagging at me, but I know that there was one night where I felt like I heard it said, like, you are gay. And I had that experience where that thought fit like a puzzle piece to everything that I had been dealing with. So, I had the same reaction he had when that occurred. I cried because it's like once that puzzle piece fits, then it's almost like it's tied to your identity, to your ego. No, even if you don't want it, it just feels like this is who I am, and it makes sense now. This is why this is happening. This is why that happened. Why they're saying this. Why I'm feeling that. Because that's that moment that you take that identity on. All right.
So I cried my eyes out because I'm like, I am this. This is who I am. So at that point, when the person said this to you, you felt convinced. Yes, I felt that this is. You felt that you were gay. I felt that this is who I am. And I cried. I didn't fully know exactly what it was, but I cried. I knew it was something good. Mm-hmm. So I cried, and from there, that's where I started to become depressed and suicidal and hated my life. And I hated God because I was like, God, you made me and you made me this way. So you felt
you hear this deception that he's talking about. He's feeling at this point in his testimony that he's upset with God because he's like, you made me this way. This is always talked about something that we're not supposed to do, something that's abomination to nature, to the natural order of things, the natural order that our Creator set in place. So why did you make me this unnatural way? And it really kind of diminishes, your view of righteousness and what is to be. It's so much to unpack in that, but I'm just gonna let him keep going. I'm gonna leave the link. Like I said, I don't know if that part made it through the crash or not, but I'm gonna leave the link in this description so that you can look at this testimony without me interrupting it. But just for the purpose of this video, I just wanted him to highlight the things that we're highlighting here. How this deception, takes over your mind.
Felt God made you. I felt that God made me this way. I felt it. I felt as though He made me, and this is how He made me. Something that is not good. He made me this. So I hated my life. I hated me. I didn't love me. And I, as time goes by, I end up actually giving into the lie because, as I tell you, my mind was being tormented by the enemy.
Exactly. He said as time went by, he ended up giving into the lie. I can speak firsthand to that experience. I fought for years not to even engage, but after so much time, your mind beating you down with these thoughts, it's like, well, if this is who I am, I might as well go along with it. And the next thing you know, you're in a lifestyle that you don't even really want to be in.
And I just said, you know what, this is who I am. So I turned away from God. I turned away from God. I wanted nothing to do with church. I wanted nothing to do with no Christian. I don't want to hear no Christian persons. I don't want to hear it come and tell me nothing. And I didn't like to think about God because why? If I thought about God, I had to think that the life I'm living was wrong. I had a reprobate mind. I didn't want nothing to do with God. I didn't want nothing to, I didn't want nothing. You said that to us that you had a reprobate mind. Yes.
We talked about that. I think that was part 2 when we went through all those Bible verses, the reprobate mind. We talked about that.
And you would also mention, let's talk a bit about that regarding how you viewed women, how you looked at women when people, look at you as a young man. Back then, I mean, I saw a woman and I'm like, the vision and the plan I had for myself, I could not see myself being with a woman. I couldn't have seen myself being married to a woman. I would say, what are you going to do with a fish? What I could do with that? What could I do with a woman? So the plan and the vision that I had for myself was to be married to a man, have adopt a child or something. So, and that was the vision and that's what the plan that I had for myself. But God.
All right. So this is him talking about, how he viewed himself during that time. Let me skip ahead to the renewal of his mind.
I had all these struggles. I had to let go of my friends. I had to let go of a lot of things that I knew.
Let me tell you, that's so key. He had to let go of a lot of friends, but most importantly, he had to let go of everything he thought he knew. That's what I'm talking about here. The reason I'm making this video series is so that you can take a look at the things that you think you know about yourself, about the world, and ultimately so that you can let them go and be restored, to the ways of our Creator. That's what he's talking about here. He had to let go of all those things that he thought he knew at that time.
It was not easy to get to this point. God had to do his part and God had to do my part.
Yeah.
He had to help me because there were days I felt I was losing my mind. There are days I would get anxiety attacks in the road because I want to live right, but this thing. And I would say this. That spirit is a very strong spirit.
Listen, man. He's telling y'all some truth. Listen.
And as you go back in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, they were bold-faced. We want to
exactly.
give them
exactly. We went through that story. They tried to rape angels, man. Listen, man. Please take this seriously. Please do not just take the easy way and succumb to your flesh and your twisted mind. Really, really fight against this by seeking truth and seeking the Creator.
We want them. So it was a very strong spirit. So I had to go to
Predatory
deliverance. I had
spirit.
to get deliverance.
Same strong predatory spirit that leads to pederasty, child molestation. All because those demons are seeking to infiltrate and have your physical vessel to control. It's a war, man.
Breakthrough.
But you know, let's not give him too much credit for being strong, because the strongest of all is our creator of all things. He has all power in his hands, man. All power. He can break all these strongholds, but you have to open yourself and avail yourself to him, not to this world, to your creator, man. And you will be able to see exactly what this young man is talking about.
Yeah. And I will just say this. If you're struggling, no matter what it is, and you want help, you have to seek for your deliverance. Fight for your deliverance. And I had to do that. It was not easy.
Nope.
It hasn't been easy. Yes. But I thank God for where I am now. Yes. Because it's only because of him.
Yes.
He changed my view. He changed my mind. I had to renew my mind. And renewing your mind is not something that you do one day. It's a constant. Correct. Continue.
Listen to him talking about renewing of the mind, man. Listen.
You have to now exchange your way of thinking
exactly.
for God's way of thinking. Wow. You have to say, listen to me. God, you are right and I am wrong.
Humble yourself. Humble yourself. Do not come with this defensive attitude where you need to defend what you think is right. Humble yourself. It's not your fault that you were lied to. It's not your fault that you have been deceived. It's not. But in order to come out of that, you have to admit that. Admit that your mind is twisted. Your mind is wrong. That what you think you know is wrong. And give yourself over to the creator for him to reveal truth to you and to renew you. It can be done. This man is not playing.
You understand? So now I can see myself having a wife. Wow. I can see myself being in a relationship with a woman that I could not have seen before. Wow. Do I have desires to go back to the past? Do I have desires to have that vision of being married to a man? No, I can't see myself being there. Wow. That is not.
Exactly. When you come through this, I'm telling you, it's not an easy journey. It's not. It's actually quite traumatic, because then you have to really look at yourself and what you've been engaging in, and it hurts. It really does. But like he said, he thanks God for where he is now, because I can't even really put the joy into words. I can't. I'm trying to as I talk to you, and I still can't do it. It's not an easy journey, but it's worth it. It is so worth it not to stay trapped and lost over here, but to renew that mind, to come to a place where you can see yourself fitting into the natural order of things, where you can see yourself being with a woman and having children and all those things that the devil blinded you to before, to be able to see them, man. It's powerful.
I can't see that. I can't see that anymore, and it's because of God.
You can no longer see yourself going back to that way of life once you understand the truth. Once you seek that wisdom and you get it, you can't. I can no longer ever see myself engaging in that lifestyle. It's not. I'm sorry, but it's nothing that can draw me back there. Nothing.
Wow. I'm like, wow, I can't wait to get married to a wife, a woman, and have a child with a woman. Yeah. I couldn't see that before. You understand? Mm-hmm. So I thank God for who he is and for what he is doing in.
Right, man. That's all you can do at this point. And then there's another young lady. Well, not another young lady. This is man. There's a young lady I want to use a part of her testimony, and I'm gonna call it a wrap and get ready for part 5, because that's where things might get a little bit more twisted for you. But okay. Now I really hope these people don't mind me kind of using their clips in my video, but this was a young lady, and she was describing her journey to truth and deliverance, and really her story was really profound as well. And it goes to show you how the Father is always working in our lives, always, even when we're not doing what we're supposed to do. It's just a lot. Like if you hear her story, you can see you can see God all throughout it. But this particular part I wanted to just play really quickly because she was talking about being at a performance, and even her attendance at this performance was divinely ordained because she wasn't necessarily looking for it. She just happened to end up there. But she heard this performance from this guy who was portraying the enemy, and it really opened her mind. So I thought it was very profound. And if you can understand what she's saying, if you can understand what she's getting at, it really highlights everything I'm trying to get across. But I'm going to play it, so let me let her go.
He put on a performance of like he was like the devil, and he looked tattered, but he didn't look evil.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that, like
I'm really quickly. That's what people need to understand. The enemy is not going to come to you and say, "Oh, I am evil." He's not going to come to you looking like an ugly beast to scare you off. He's going to come disguised as everything that you would want. He's going to come to you with his words, um, tasting like honey. That's what you need to be on the lookout for. And because he just smiles in our faces all the time, we are so oblivious. But when you grow in your discernment, when you grow in truth, when you grow in your relationship with the Creator, you see through that smile, you see the wickedness behind it. So that's what she's getting at here. But I'm gonna let her keep going.
He was still an angel of light. He had huge wings, and he had on like a vest and like a nice shirt and pants and everything, and his clothes were just like a little torn and stuff. But he wasn't dirty, he wasn't anything. And I was like, yeah, because the devil, can parade around as an angel of light, the Bible says. So I was like, I was watching him and he was saying these profound things. I can't even remember everything he was saying, but it was things like, I make you want this and I make you want that, you know what I mean? And I make it seem appealing. And it was almost like you heard a master plan behind closed doors. It's like you were a spy into the realm of darkness to hear their conversations of the plans that they have for the people. And that's how he presented it. And I was like, it just woke me up in such a way. And I was sitting there and I was like, okay. And I just started talking to God and I was like, I get it. Mm-hmm. You want me to change. And then it was.
So like I said, I'm going to leave a link to both of those videos so that you can go hear their testimonies for yourself. I want their testimonies to speak for themselves, but I only wanted to use those portions because I think they gave us such excellent examples of, one, having your mind infiltrated and twisted around through lies and deception through this wicked world. And then two, having that veil removed, starting to understand how the enemy works and really coming to the Creator, coming to God and just humbling yourself and opening yourself up to this correction. Like, to understand, hey, I followed this wrong path. I've been doing things the wrong way. I don't know why. I don't know why I felt this way. I don't know. All I know is that I need to be doing things right by you. And when you come to that moment, it's a veil will fall from your eyes and all truth will be revealed to you. So, I say this to say that escaping the wicked satanic deception of homosexuality, it takes humility. It takes humility first and foremost. It takes the courage and the strength to admit that you've been doing wrong. It takes the strength and the courage to admit that you've been violating, the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator. He gave us this life that we're living. He sustains us with every breath that we breathe, every beat of our heart. And we're living a life that is an abomination to Him in the utmost. We are doing things with our bodies that is an abomination. It's a tough pill to swallow, But I'd rather you swallow it now while you still are living, while you still have the mind to be able to correct that, because I don't think that I didn't know any better is going to be a reason when you meet the creator. I don't think that's going to fly. These things are they're etched into our hearts. I can't describe it no other way. But once you see through the lie, you know it's wrong. You know it's wrong, and there's nothing else to do after that but to avail yourself to correction. It's said in Job that God corrects his children. Just like any other parent would discipline their child when they're doing wrong. They do it out of love. God's love surpasses that. So do not despise the correction of the Almighty. He corrects those that he loves. Open yourself up to that love. Open yourself up to that correction. Don't listen to the world telling you, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. Oh, love is love. Whatever other lies that they've programmed you with. Ask yourself, if you heard these lies that we talked about in this video, ask yourself if this is what was told to you as a child. You know what I mean? Was your mind twisted around by the wicked forces of this world? That's what we're going to get into in part 5. Now, I'm going to warn you once again. The enemy works in some pretty twisted ways. So we're going to get into those twisted ways in the next video, because I think that people need to really understand just what we are watching when we're looking at television. They need to understand what's going on, because you're internalizing a lot of mixed messages, a lot of mixed signals. And once you wake up to those signals, it is quite something. So we're going to get into that part 5. But I hope that what we're talking about so far, what I'm talking about so far, is resonating, and that you continue to open yourself up to the rest of the information that I'm going to be putting out here. But I ain't gonna ramble on. We out here.